Have you ever had a dream to travel all around the world doing something that you absolutely love and make money doing it? Well, my next guest has the exact formula. It's pretty amazing when you think about what you can do. There are no limits. And this particular woman travels all around the world and curates specific pieces from artists that she absolutely loves and has these amazing stories behind her jewelry. And my message and mission to you is, if you have a dream, if you've got a desire to do something, there is a formula for success. You've got to be true to yourself. You've got to do whatever it takes. And when you do, what happens is you unlock your wealth potential. You unlock that burning desire that has always been there. And so I want you to focus on what that is. What makes you fabulous? What is that thing that you can bring out in the world and actually make a difference? Maybe make money, maybe, connect and partner with someone else. So I want you to think about it, and I hope you enjoy this episode. Frankie Lee, dimmi, quale senso della vita?
The meaning of life is to live la dolce vita, which is the formula for fabulous living.
Hi, my name is Heather Picken, and welcome to the La Dolce Vita Show, the formula for fabulous living. I'm the catalyst in helping you to be more confident, create your dream business, and attract elite clients and live a fabulous life. Here's Heather helping you to upgrade your life to
fabulous. Upgrade your life to fabulous. Right, Frankie? You're fabulous.
Well, hello, everyone, and welcome to the La Dolce Vita Show. I know I want to say that in Italian. La Dolce Vita. It's the formula for fabulous living. And I love what I do because I find inspiring guests all over the world. They have the formula. That's right. They have the secret sauce that really allows them to be who they are, being authentic in their unique expression. And here's the great thing, they're able to make money doing it. And so I love sharing the stories, the formulas that make people fabulous, that make people, really inspiring others to do the things that they might be afraid to do. And I love my guest today, actually all the way from Seattle, which is my backyard, Jennifer Jedda of JJ Caprice. Is it Caprice or Caprices?
Caprices.
Oh, Caprices.
Yes.
So Jennifer,
we all have many of them.
Yeah. And I want to say that, you've got this formula. Check this out, everyone. She has this formula, this fabulous formula for traveling all around the world. I believe it's 44 countries, finding beautiful things, beautiful pieces of jewelry, bringing that back and sharing the story behind the jewelry and having these amazing experiences that I believe are transformational, that are life-changing. So Jennifer and Frankie Lee, Frankie Lee is my chihuahua, thank you so much for being my guest.
Yes, no, it's my pleasure. I'm happy to be here, Heather.
And I wondered if, before we go into kind of like highlighting what you do, if you could share, because I know, with any business vision that you have, because I'm all about dreaming big, even if it feels impossible, there is a formula for success. There is a formula that makes you unique. And sometimes what happens is that there's challenges along the way. So we're not being true to ourselves. We're standing small instead of, showing up big, like this little guy. So can you share some of the challenges that you've had to kind of overcome in your journey of really going out there in the world a big way and doing what you're doing?
Sure. Well, just to sort of help everyone understand what I do. So I have an online boutique, and I showcase handmade women's accessories in it. And they're accessories that done by artisans and designers that I have found while traveling around the world. And everything that I feature has to be handmade in that particular country, and it has to be made by artists and designers that I discovered while visiting their country. And there has to also be something compelling about it, whether it's something I never get to see at home or it's preserving a tradition. So, and basically, I sort of the catalyst for me starting my business was I just always wanted to be a small business owner. Like I was a technology consultant in another life in another planet, it feels like. And I would dream about having my own business. And I was married at the time. And if I'm completely honest, I sort of faced, my ex-husband is a wonderful person. However, he was, I think, just really nervous about me sort of having my own business and what that would mean from a financial perspective and what that would mean from I don't think he wanted me to fail. And so therefore he preferred that I sort of do things that were more predictable. I knew that wasn't in my heart. So I ended up getting divorced back in 2011 and picking up and moving to Paris for 2 years, just sort of as, like they say in French, to changer la vie, to change the life, but also sort of to hit reset and kind of figure out, I set myself down this new path and what that was going to look like. And basically, I knew I couldn't leave this planet without pursuing my dream of being an entrepreneur. So I took my 2 years in Paris and, learned French and traveled and ate a lot of baguettes and croissants and had a lovely time, but also really focused on what I wanted my small business to look at. And I had, because this had always been a dream of mine, I had been to many sort of incubators and women networking groups. So I had a foundation in my head of what I wanted. Originally, my thought was I'd have a bricks and mortar shop, and I would showcase, because I've always loved travel, I would showcase beautiful clothes by different designers I had seen around the world. And sort of as I thought through that idea of my business, I sort of noticed, I don't know if I could be in a shop all day. So I was like, I don't know if a bricks and mortar is the best thing for me. I'm good at choosing clothes for myself. I don't know if I'm good at choosing clothes for other women. And so from sort of thinking about what I would be successful at, basically the idea I came up with is what you witnessed today. And so it's an online shop where I can, manage from my home office, or when I'm in Paris, or, I just got back from Southeast Asia. And I do curate handmade women's accessories, because I thought accessories, like everyone, for me, it just felt like a better match than doing shopping for clothing, if that makes sense. Yes. So basically I spent those 2 years. I was supposed to live in Paris for 3 years, but I got so sort of excited and anxious about coming home and starting my small business that I came home a year early just to launch it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yes.
I love that. I love that story. And I want to go back to the moment that you were, your husband at the time was questioning about your business. Jennifer, I can relate to this so many times because I've never been married. However, I've been in relationships where they would question me. Why are you spending so much money on your business? Or why are you doing this? Why do you got to fly over there? And did you ever doubt yourself, when you had that vision of like, I really want to do something that is more aligned with who I am? Did you ever doubt yourself? Or, did he kind of give you fuel to really help you position yourself for your fabulous formula for living?
Yeah, I never doubted myself, but it always was confusing to me that he doubted me on it, if I'm completely honest. And this, again, he's a great, wonderful man who very much cherished me and today is one of my biggest supporters of my business. But because it was outside of his comfort zone, he just couldn't sort of be that support that I needed. And like I said, I just couldn't imagine not going through this life and trying and doing what I feel like I'm meant to be doing it, and being a small business owner. I mean, it's been percolating inside of me ever since I was an itty bitty thing, right? So I could just be technology consultant anymore, or be a, I did so many like community volunteer type events, and I would work on different political campaigns, but I always felt like I was working to fulfill other people's dreams.
Mm-hmm.
And I give so much of myself in everything I do that, it wasn't a waste, of course, but I just knew like I could put the same energy towards fulfilling my own dreams and like my own path.
I love that. And it's all about being true to yourself. You know, I wear this ring on my finger. People probably can't see, but it says, be true to your dreams. And so when I had this incident where at the time, years ago, my boyfriend threw me out in the middle of the night, I said, you know what? I am going to focus on being true to myself, because like you said, you know, it's like you had these dreams. You didn't want to live out anyone else's dreams, but being true to yourself. And not that you're throwing your ex-husband underneath the bus, but you know, I always say, and I kind of laugh at it, my best lessons in life have been through my relationships with men. They have taught me to own my power and own my greatness, because they had another plan of how their vision and our relationship wanted to be. So, you know, I look at your journey and everyone else's journey. If you've got challenges or challengers out there, it's necessary for you to grow. I love saying this quote by one of my mentors: although we seek people that praise us, you know, in our vision and our values, it's those people that challenge us in those challenging situations that really make us grow. We grow on the brink of support and challenge. And that's why I'm here to help people to create big, bold visions in their business, particularly online, attracting those elite clients. And I just love what you're all about. I love the mission and purpose. And by the way, for those that are watching today, I have two pieces that Jennifer had brought back, and I know this one is from Mexico. So could you tell us
Guatemala?
Behind this?
It's from Guatemala.
Oh, Guatemala. Okay. So can you tell us the story behind this piece?
Sure. No, I'm happy to. So I was in Guatemala and Mexico. So that's, I think, because that trip was at the same time. I went to Mexico and Guatemala last summer, and I was down near this beautiful lake called Lake Atitlan. And there was a town that I came upon, and there's a bunch of different Mayan communities, particularly around this lake. And just so you know, this lake is like surrounded by all these beautiful volcanoes. So it's literally picturesque. And there was a co-op of Mayan women that made these beaded necklaces. Well, they made many beaded things, but I fell in love with those beaded necklaces. And basically, what they do is they have sort of, I guess, a factory, if you will, and they get the best quality materials they can find. So those beads on those are from the Czech Republic, versus most beads you would probably find would be from China. Mm-hmm. So get the best materials that they can put their hands on, and then they hand weave all these particular pieces of jewelry. So that one to me looks like lace, honestly. So if you can imagine like the amount of like love and effort and time that goes into something like that.
Yeah.
And what's so great about these, you know, supporting women like these is it gives them their own livelihood, and it helps them support their family. And so it's not only a beautiful piece of jewelry, but it has a beautiful story behind it. And so that's where I like to showcase as well.
I love it. And think about it, you are empowering women all over the world that are selling these things. You know, it's such a value to you, and then it's a value to them. And then also what you're doing with your whole business of showing people, hey, I've got a formula where I'm traveling all around the world and doing what I love. Do you know how many people that would love to be in your shoes going, oh my gosh, Jennifer, I'd love to do it. And you're just like, you know, you got to be true to yourself. I look at the underlying theme, and it all comes down to when you are true to who you are and understand that unique expression, that genius that you have inside of you, you could do anything. It really is. And it's those people that we subordinate to, whether it be authority figure or family member telling us we can't do it, that really crushes our dreams. So I just love what you're all about. And I'm also wearing another, I actually had this on my middle finger before, but I took it off the middle finger. Uh, so I'm not giving people the finger, really. And so this ring, if you could tell us a little bit about this ring. And
yeah, so that ring is by an Italian designer named Lital Calmasone, and her brand is LK Designs. And I discovered her in Jerusalem in Israel back in 2010. So this is before I even had my business, but I knew that if I ever did have my own business, because like I said, I'd always been thinking about it, is I would definitely want to showcase her pieces. So I bought a piece myself and wrote down all her information. And then when I launched my business back in 2013, she was one of the original designers. I think I had 5 designers when I first opened, or 5 countries. And now today she's one of the best sellers in my shop. She is, I consider, one of her anchor designers. So she does all this like beautiful laser cut filigree work. And her story is she was inspired to go, and she was a graphic designer who loved to wear big earrings, but they always gave her headaches. And so she started designing her own earrings. And because she does this like laser cut filigree, it's super lightweight, and it's all embellished with Swarovski crystals. And she's most famous for her earrings. And if you wear them, you forget you have them on because they're so lightweight and wonderful, but they still got that little bling, and
yes,
they're beautiful. They're just
beautiful. I love that. I did see those earrings. Yeah, I love this. I feel like I could be like, the QVC. Look at this gorgeous ring detailed all the way from... But it's great. And I just, I love the story behind it. And it's something that, people can relate to stories, especially when I'm out and about, all blinged out. A lot of people say, hey, where did you get that? I love that necklace. And it's kind of cool to tell people, hey, there's this, the story, and kind of share that with people. And it makes it more memorable, I think, for people. If you're wearing like, what I call like a statement piece, especially in your business, if you want to stand out, ladies, you've got to have your signature look, and that could be unique to who you are. Mine's kind of like, I love wearing big statement pieces, jewelry, bling, you name it. But it's such an important part of, just kind of finding your own unique expression, with jewelry.
So Heather, can I make a point? Like, I know my life sounds really glamorous to people when they hear about what I do. However, I also think that it's really important for people to know that I work really hard. Like, to do something that I do is, I know it sounds super glamorous. Oh, Jen gets to go here and she gets to go there and she meets all these fabulous designers and she wears all this pretty jewelry, and she's, and here in Seattle, I'm at fashion shows and, I'm at charity events. So you look at my Facebook and my Instagram and you're like, Jen is just like, her life is one big party. But it's not the case. I do.
Right. Yes, I understand.
Behind my desk, dealing with designers all over the world, like having to figure out when I get new products, there's like so many challenges on a daily basis. Just from, running your small business, and then just like the challenges of life. Right. So I know I have what sounds to be like a very glamorous business. And yes, I've done a really good job creating exactly the life that I want, but there's been work involved. It just hasn't magically happened. And to even like maintain it every day is there's a lot of work involved. Right. There's just a lot of effort and time and commitment and perseverance and dedication. I mean, and having to just believe in myself and what I'm about, because it's like I said, there are challenges. So you have to push through those challenges as well. It's not
absolutely. I love what you're saying, because when I work with my elite clients, one of the first things that I say, what, you've got to embrace the pain and the pleasure in pursuing your dream, because if you want to live in a fantasy and think everything is going to be easy, it's just not going to work. And so a lot of people think they can be an entrepreneur, but to be an entrepreneur takes mastery. Mastering your mindset, mastering your marketing, mastering who you are, owning your power, owning your greatness, and not being a cookie cutter version of anyone else. I look at Jennifer's stuff and she is a unique expression of what she's doing, and she's showing up in the world doing amazing things. That's why I wanted to have her on the show. And that's why I wanted to show all the listeners and viewers. And if in order to see this fabulous jewelry, you got to go to heatherpicken.com and go over to the blog, because that's where you'll find all the gems, all the pictures. But I just love this conversation, Jennifer, that we're having today. So what words of advice can you give to people that they want to put themselves out there in a big world, particularly maybe online, but they're afraid to really play on a bigger scale?
Oh, well, yeah, I mean, I think that's a challenge no matter how big you are, I think you're always just there's always something that's a little scary out there, right?
Right.
So, and I think that's fine. I think it's actually good to be scared. Because that means you're actually passionate about it, right? Like it means something to you. So I think you have to embrace that fear, if you will, but it's pushing through it. And I think the biggest thing is knowing that it's okay to fail and maybe not be this like overnight success, or what's that saying about every overnight success took 10 years or something like that?
Absolutely. I don't know verbatim, but yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, so I just really think if you believe in yourself, you need to focus on that, because there's going to be a lot of noise going on around you. But if you have this passion and you have the dedication and you have the perseverance and you find the support, you might not always have the support in the places that you expect it initially, but if you find the support, literally, and this is a phrase that I live by, is the world's your oyster. I really feel that. But again, words are all pretty and they sound easy, but there's so much, you have to dig in so deep into yourself to make it happen. But as long as you've got the vision here and you've got basically what is it? The grit?
Drive.
Yeah, the grit and drive.
Yeah.
I really think that those big visions are important to fulfill, and you have them for a reason, right? Like you see yourself in a place because you're meant to be there.
Absolutely. No, I love that. And it's funny because, I've got this big lofty vision, and when I get the roadblocks, I look at that and going, okay, this means I'm one step closer to my goal, because that, to me, it's just a mental thing about pushing through. And I will add to what you're saying, you've got to have the big vision. You also have to have strategy. And if you want to accelerate your path to growth, you find a coach or mentor that can help you push through the mental blocks and then give you the strategy. So when I'm helping clients, what I do is I help them remyelinate the brain so that they can see things on the way instead of in the way, because that's what a master does. And I'm all about helping people to master the formula for fabulous living. Jennifer, this has been so amazing, so inspiring for everyone that's listening and watching. So thank you so much for being my guest today.
Yes, my pleasure, Heather. I've super enjoyed it. Thank you.
And for those people that want to learn more about Jennifer and her fabulous jewelry and her fabulous things that she's up to in her world travels, just click on the link below, either in this video or if you're listening over to iTunes, that will be in the show notes. So I want to leave everyone with a challenge today. I want you to really find the formula that makes you most unique. Don't copy anyone else. Be who you are. And if you're a little bit scared, my friend, then you are on the right path. So here is to living your formula for fabulous living. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye. So if you found this show to be fabulous, please share with your fabulous friends, rate, review, and subscribe on YouTube and iTunes. And I'll make sure I take a beatbox lesson, right? Or give my little chihuahua a bone. That's me. Fabulous.